Dry, warm, windy weather. It's caused brush fires to consume the region now in Jersey. Wildfire that reached about 1,000 acres of rural forest at its peak. It has been pretty much completely contained. Now, the blaze had broken out early Monday in the towns of Tabernacle and Woodland. In Connecticut, 60-acre fire in Milford, mostly contained as well. 2 buildings evacuated, but residents were allowed back into their homes late last night. And on Long Island, 3 firefighters injured while battling a 1,000-acre blaze that broke out Monday in Brookhaven. The fire continued to rage well into Tuesday morning, but it now appears to be contained. Homes in several Suffolk County towns were evacuated on Monday. And I got to tell you, we spoke to officials late last night here. They weren't sure how this was going, literally, how the wind blew could have made this even worse. Also, 3 homes in a commercial business were destroyed in the fire. Suffolk County officials declared a state of emergency. About 35 fire companies from around Suffolk County are still on the scene battling to make sure the blaze continues to be contained. Now, earlier today, I spoke with First Assistant Chief Blaise Gemellaro of the West Islip Fire Department, and he explained why all the brush fires are happening and if they could continue throughout the spring. And I asked him if they feel as though they're now in good shape. Here's what he had to say.
They've given all clear, so we're starting to release most of the stump jumpers, the GIs, and a lot of the departments at this time are starting to pack up.
We spoke to some of your colleagues last night, and when we asked, hey, with the combination of the dry ground, obviously the wind conditions that you're dealing with this spring here, and as hot a spring as we've had, if they're worried about this being something that we could be seeing throughout April and beyond, to a person, they all said, yeah, we're real worried. We've already seen 1,000 fires coast to coast here just in the last month or so. How worried are you? You're going to see brush fires in the coming weeks?
Well, we get constant updates from the county, and we get constant updates from each town. Each town has an OEM, so we get constant updates from them about red flag warnings. And we've been preparing, all the departments on Long Island have been preparing, probably throughout the state, have been preparing for the inevitable. And Manorville did a good job today. They had everything all set up. Suffolk County, the town of Brookhaven, everybody did a really good job.
I know you guys got good cooperation, and you got a lot of help here from folks outside the county, but talk about concerns here on the ground with the conditions we said here. You got a lot of dry land here, and the temperatures, while we all like a nice warm spring, it could be a tough spring for you here. You could be looking at more brush fires. Is that right?
Oh yes, that's the concern now, is because the conditions are going to remain the same. If not tonight, by Thursday, they're going to start up again. The type of weather is going to start up again with a little bit of a wind and the dry conditions. I know the rain that's forecast is not supposed to hit this part of the island, so it's not going to help this part of the island. So there's a lot of concern that the area is going to continue to be dry, and the conditions are going to be ripe with the weather, the wind, and that's the culprit, is the wind.
Yeah, can you explain to our audience why a lot of us were surprised why the wind was the biggest variable last night and why it was making your guys' jobs so difficult?
I'm not used to it though, so I'm still getting them every day.
The wind fuels the fire. It moves it real quick through the woods, and it's very tough to track it at that point. I mean, you're chasing it, and you're hoping the wind doesn't change, and that's what happens sometimes. The wind changes, and you gotta regroup real quick.
And Dick, you were saying before that you were driving through some of this. It was some scary stuff yesterday, huh?
It looked like a mushroom cloud, a massive mushroom cloud, and you kept feeling like it was just going to tip right towards you and absolutely wipe out the ability to see on the roadway. And but the firefighters, they did a fantastic job. Yeah. They really have.
And apparently great communication coordination. But I have a feeling from when you talked to these guys, spoke to them last night and again today, we're going to be talking about the story quite a bit, unfortunately, this summer, depending on conditions and not enough rain. Andrew, Dick, thank you so much.